you had number 3 ranked Florida getting beat by number 20 ranked Louisville?
21st.
Yeah. It's just, I agree with everything else I've heard that they kind of looked at it as they didn't care.
Because they weren't in the national
They
championship
weren't in the national
game.
championship game. It really didn't mean a whole lot to them, and they were more bummed about everybody coming up to them saying, "Oh, you guys should have been there. You guys should have been the team. It shouldn't be Notre Dame. It should be you." And they took all that to heart. And I really do think if this game was played during the regular season, you would have a different outcome.
Okay.
I just think that not being in a national championship game, not being where they thought and where a lot of people thought they should be, kind of took the sails out from under. They just came out flat.
They started off so slow that Louisville was able to get ahead.
It was never really a close game.
Yeah. Final score was only by 10, but it wasn't a 10-point game.
No.
It wasn't. It was 33-10 before Florida even really put the Jets on, and that started off with a punt return for a touchdown that really sort of got their juices flowing, and that's in the fourth quarter. Now, so let's I have a hard time believing that the idea of a team showing up and just being so disappointed that they're not playing in a different game, like, I don't know. Like, Mike, what if I told you that the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday didn't play as well as they could have because they were disappointed that they didn't already have the NFC East title locked up? Like, how would that, like, as a fan, how would you feel knowing that your team didn't give it all they got because they were upset that they didn't play in another game?
It's funny. I was just kind of thinking, and, I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch the game last night. I was watching a net game, and, I probably know a little less about college football than Dave does. But, if you go out and you play flat and the reason is because you were disappointed that you didn't make a certain bowl game, aren't you justifying why they didn't put you in that game in the first place?
No.
In a way?
It just, they didn't care.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Listen. You can't tell me you don't care. Then what kind of competitor are you?
Yeah, that you have to go out and give your best no matter what game you're in. That's still a bowl game. It's not a national championship.
Everybody gets in a bowl game. No, you have 6 and 7 teams in a bowl game.
This was the Orange Bowl, right?
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't
that's
matter.
That's one of the top 5 bowls in the country, isn't it?
The playoffs are coming in college football, and then you'll see a difference. You look at it as a couple years ago, Alabama played Utah in a bowl, one of these Sugar Bowl or whatever it was, and got stomped by Utah. But there wasn't a person out there that didn't think that Alabama was still one of the best teams in the nation. It's just, you come out flat when you're expecting to play for a national championship, when your expectations are so high, and then you get put in a bowl game with Louisville.
See, to me,
kind of just, it sucks the air out of you. It does.
To me, I don't think you can call yourself one of the best teams in the league if you can't show up for a game regardless of whether or not you think it's meaningful.
See, and that's the thing. I don't understand how you don't think it's meaningful.
What does this game mean for anything? Seniors
it's a sense of pride. You're better than this team. You wouldn't want your last game of your college career to be a win.
And I'm sorry, if
you want to walk off the field
even if they win the Orange Bowl, they're still disappointed that they're not playing on Monday night for the national championship.
Well, then that's their own problem.
Yeah,
that's
but
a joke.
That is their problem.
There's
that's
about
the reason
400.
they came out
That's
flat.
a joke.
And there's
what
about
a sad excuse.
There's how many teams that aren't playing on Monday night? There's about 400, 500 teams that aren't playing there. That doesn't mean that they gave up on their last game of the season.
Then go Louisville. I'm not even calling this an upset. I'm calling this an upsetting performance.
And one last thing.
It's a joke.
You brought up the graduating seniors. For them, they're auditioning for future teams if there are scouts at this game. Don't you want to push your best foot forward?
They've already auditioned. You can go back and look at game film from them. You can go back
Don't tell me that,
stuff.
given how much the combine means in draft position, there's no decisions made on who's being drafted yet.
There's no decision being made on who's drafted where based on this game with Louisville.
Doesn't hurt.
I don't know.
Doesn't hurt.
If I'm looking at players, I want to know that the guys on my team are going to go show up and play no matter what the situation is.
Yeah,
and this Florida team blatantly, if you're telling me that they were so distraught.
College football is a year-to-year thing. The end of this year didn't matter to them.
A full month after they've accepted the fact that they're not playing in the national championship.
No, they haven't accepted
Get over
it. They were
it.
still upset.
Then they're a bunch
That's
of
their
they're
problems.
a bunch of babies.
And in
That's what they
reality,
are.
if that's really their
Call 'em
problem,
what you
none of
wanna
them
call
should be
'em,
on
but that's what
NFL
they
teams.
They're a bunch of babies. That's a joke.
And none of them are ready
Man
for the
up, grow a
pros.
sack of nuts. That's a
Grow a
joke.
sack of nuts and playing a game that you don't think you should be playing in.
You're playing in it though. You know what? You wanted to play a national championship game. You shouldn't have lost in the regular season. You want to be mad about something? Be mad because you lost in the
it's
regular
not.
season.
And again,
Man up.
you guys lose. It's not like these guys are getting paid. What are they manning up for? They're
Then
not
don't
manning
show
for
up
a
to the game.
contract. They're
Don't
not
show
manning
up to the
Like,
game.
that's
Just
so
forfeit.
sad. That is such an I'd be embarrassed to even have somebody say
It's
this
like
about
when
me.
Boise State beat Oklahoma. It's like I said, when Utah beat Alabama. These teams, these big programs, when they got to play teams that they don't think are nearly at their level in these bowl games, they lose sight, they lose concentration, and they just don't care.
I challenge that. With,
It's a fact.
That's a joke. That's what that is.
Call it a joke, but it happens year after year
That's
after
such a
year.
joke.
just because
Every
something
year.
can be done doesn't make it right.
That's just such a joke.
Every
I
year.
can't believe you, out of all people, actually defend this
Yeah.
mindset. You're the
watched my
guy.
own
You're
team go
the
through
you're
it.
the guy that tells me all the time that every game matters. Every game that's played, the team should show up and play.
Actually,
You've said these words,
Yeah.
and yet you're backing them up and saying that this is okay that they
I'm
did
saying,
this.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just telling you where the team is coming from. I watched it happen a few years back when Alabama played Utah. Like
Wait a
I
minute,
said,
wait a
I
minute. I
saw
wanna
it
make
happen
it-
with my own team.
So do you think it's okay that a team approaches a game with that
No,
mindset?
I don't think it's okay, but
Okay.
I'm just telling you where they're
I feel a
coming
lot
from.
better now because I was really upset. I thought you felt what
No,
Florida
I
did
think
was
they
right, and I'm like,
listen, you should always
out of
play
all
hard whenever
people.
you get to the field.
Thank
I
you,
understand
okay.
the point of pride, but they just didn't
Okay.
care. I'm just giving you the
no,
facts. Is all I'm doing.
that's why I got frustrated. I'm like, you're the same guy that sits here and tells me. So my bad.
I'm
I
not-
thought that's where you were
I'm not
going.
arguing
I'm like, no
for
way.
them. I'm
Okay.
telling you what their mindset was. That's all
Okay.
I'm doing.
Okay, because
so you can agree that it's a poor mindset then.
Yeah, but it's from. I
It's- you're
understand the
saying that-
disappointment.
so in other
it's
words-
more of a disappointment. It's a consolation. It's a third place game. It's like in fantasy football. You make it all the way into the playoffs, right? You lose in the first round or the second round, and you end up in that consolation game. I was
Yep.
in that consolation game. You just don't care. You don't look at it as much. It just doesn't mean as much to you. If you're not in the finals, if you're not in the championship, and that's where you think your team should have been,
Well-
you lose sight of where you're actually at right now.